and I'm a coffee professor here in Bogota, Colombia. And sometimes people ask, is that a thing? Does a coffee professor really exist? And yes, and it's something that's very serious here in Colombia, where coffee education is taken seriously. And in addition to teaching coffee at a university, I also wrote a book about tasting specialty coffee in Colombia. It's called Permission to Slur. And I also give workshops, and I have online courses that teach people about coffee. In Colombia, we go into the history of coffee, what coffee means to Colombians. We also do tastings to really get into the details about the characteristics in a cup of coffee, so that people really understand why they love a certain coffee. So when you visit a specialty coffee shop, you see these beautiful brewing methods. You see Chemex, the siphon, the dripper, or the AeroPress, and they all do really exciting things with coffee, but it can be really hard to know what to do with them at home. So what I'm going to give you some tips for one of the easiest ones to use, which is the V60 dripper. And so how do you make a good coffee at home with one of these? I'll go over a few things that you can remember. The first thing is to wash the filter. So just pour a little bit of hot water over it before brewing the coffee, and then dump that water out, because there's always going to be a paper flavor that you get from the filter. Then when you put the coffee in, you want to shake it down. So there's no mountain. You just want a level space to work with. And then you're going to pour just a little bit of water over it and leave that for 30 seconds. That's called a bloom time. It allows CO2 that was trapped in the beans to escape. And then you can continue pouring the rest of your water. Do it in 2 stages. So pour half the remaining water in, wait for it to filter through a bit, and then the other half. And one thing to always remember is your water temperature. So you don't want water that's too hot. Do not use boiling water for coffee. It's going to over-extract the coffee. It's going to make it bitter. So you want coffee that's about 90 to 92 degrees Celsius. In general terms, that's going to be the perfect temperature to make wonderful coffee that's not too bitter. So one of the reasons why I get so passionate about specialty coffee is because of what it means to people. So coffee in Colombia is all hand-picked, it's hand-harvested, just because coffee in Colombia is grown in the mountains. And so that mountain-grown coffee, you can't put machines on those mountains to pick the coffee. So people pick the coffee. It's something that's very artisan. People get in there and they pick the coffee. Now with specialty coffee, the good thing is that people all along the coffee chain can receive a better wage. And so that's the idea behind it. It's not just to have a wonderful cup of coffee, but it's to benefit everybody along the chain. And that also benefits women, because women coffee growers, for example, can earn more money for their efforts in growing an absolutely amazing coffee. And so some of my favorite coffees are grown by women. There's also a lot of social organizations to help women, because sometimes they do a great job with growing coffee. Sometimes the business part of it is a little harder for them, and so there's a lot of social organizations to help women coffee growers. And then also you see the benefit for specialty coffee all the way up to these specialty coffee shops in the cities, because it gives an opportunity for many women baristas to work here. And it's something that hope to see more growth with more women getting involved in the coffee industry in Colombia.
Raindrops are falling